Patreon. So first trick we're gonna get into is the pivot fakie. All right, so pivot fakie, first thing I like to focus on is I like to lock in on this wheel right here. So when you come up, I pinch my heel on this wheel right here. All right? And then when I go to come back in, I like to shift onto my toes, right? And that kind of like takes the pressure off of this wheel and helps me like mentally shift from being on top to coming back in. All right, so when I press on my toe, then I'm thinking about it like a manual, right? And I'm just standing on my toe and using that to like take the pressure off the wheel and then bring it in as a fakie manual. And it's like super terrifying at first. So I definitely recommend learning it on like a smaller quarter pipe, or maybe practicing just like, you know, doing some manuals on the ramp and like holding them a little longer just so you get your balance down. Okay, next trick I got came from Patreon is feeble fakie. So relatively same thing. But with this one, when I lock in on this wheel and almost put a little bit weight on my heel, same thing as the 5-0. But this feels more like a rewind when I do it. All right, so I get in, I'm almost turning in this direction, and then to come back in when I press on the tail, it's almost like I'm coming backwards where I came from. So a lot of the times I see people go to come in and they jump more to their toe side, like away from the board. So if that's something that's happening to you, you know, just think about it almost like you're rewinding your motion and bringing it back in. All right, I see some people hopping in here. Who we got? Give me a second. I never really live streamed, so just trying to figure out how to look at these comments. All right, live chat. There we go. All right. Morning. What's up, guys? Blunt frontside out. I hate that trick. Done it like 3 times. Good morning, Mike. What's up, man? What's going on? The Tanner competition went incredible. It's like 250 people or something like that showed up. Gave away like $3,500 in cash. Bunch of prizes. Ordered like 20 pizzas. Everyone got free food and drinks. Yeah, it was just, everything went perfectly smooth. It was a good day. Hell yeah. Appreciate you guys for hanging out. Let me know if you have any questions or tips, anything like that. Want any tips on tricks or anything. All right, next question from Patreon is board slides on the coping, someone was asking about. So this trick, it's very easy, like especially when you're first starting out, to have your wheels hit the ramp, which is kind of what like ruins the board slide for you, because otherwise it's just like a rock, right? But when you're going at an angle, these are the 2 things that are going to stop you from doing it. So let's see, I like to stand and almost freeze my body when I get into a board slide. Like I freeze into that position, and it just kind of like solidifies the lock-in for me, and it keeps my legs from like moving around and wobbling around. So, you know, legs bent, and then when you go to get into the board slide, kind of like straighten out and almost stiffen, if that makes sense. And then you just kind of want to, maybe something to think about would be staying slightly behind it, right? Because when you're sliding, when you go to come in, your wheels are going to stop, make some resistance. So your body weight's going to want to fall ahead of you, right? So if you're behind, you know, when you're sliding, by the time you press down, it's going to bring you back up to like a perfect center over the board. All right, got some chats rolling in. Hold on 1 second. Daniel, what's up, man? Appreciate the support. Thanks, man. Robert, what's up, man? Oh, yeah. Tips on the front D. All right, I got a tip on the front D real quick. Let me see. All right. Front disaster. All right, so I'm not too good at front 180s, right? So a lot of people, when they do disasters, they do like a big frontside ollie, whip their front foot around and like dip it really well. I don't do my disasters like that. I kind of do it like a back disaster where I'm sliding my wheels on the ramp just like almost like a kick turn, getting light-footed, sliding those wheels, and then landing on top. So same thing with front side. I'm just like doing a front side kick turn, get light on my feet. I just use, let's say, like I lean back and slide those wheels to get like a little front 180. All right, so that's something that helps me, because just doing that big ollie, I don't know, my front 180s aren't too solid sometimes. All right. I'll get to you guys tips in the tricks in a second. I just got to do some of these over from Patreon. People like ask some questions over there. All right, backside disaster. So yeah, like I was just saying with the front disaster, it's the same thing. Backside disaster, you get light-footed, right? It's just like a backside kick turn. You got to be going straight. And when you get up to the coping, you get a little bit light-footed. And I like to use my foot as a hand, like my toes as fingers, and grab the edge of the board, it almost seems like, right? Like, so I hang my toe off a little bit, and that helps me scoop and get a good like turn with the backside disaster. Now, the next problem people have with a back D is they get in and they overturn, right? Because you're back 180ing, so it's easy for your shoulders to keep turning. I've learned, and it sounds like, you know, it's not a great tip, but when you go to come in, that's what teaches you to straighten out your shoulders. Like, the commitment of putting your front wheels in gives you a pivot point. Like, once you put down, it gives you that pivot point to be able to turn back and like unwind. So it's like in the stick is where you'll be able to land it. And I know it's scary, it feels like you're gonna be awkward, but you know, that's what helped me. And another thing you could do is just land on top, like completely, and like smash these wheels on top. Maybe overturn a little bit. I've seen some people do like that. I personally like the way it looks. So after I used to do it that way, I kind of like relearned it, where it was one motion. I unwind my shoulders with this pivot point, and right when I get in, I kind of do a little like nollie in and shift my weight to being in a regular position. So I'm set up for my next trick. All right, who's hanging out in here? Let me see. What up, guys? Saludos. Desde Mexico, Mexico. What's going on? Is the edge of the coping on that quarter pipe easier for you to blunt fakie? You know what? I honestly think it is, but it's different for a lot of people. Most people I talk to are scared of this coping because there's like nothing solid to lock into, so they like slip out. I think the pop outs are actually easier on this, but in terms of locking in, it's harder without coping. Yo, what up, Thomas? All right, let me see. So yeah, I had a question for blunt fakies. I recently made a video about it, but I'll go over it quickly. I have like sometimes a really off ollie, like my feet will leave the board. So when I do blunt fakies, you know, I never really felt that comfortable with them. I could do them, you know, pretty consistently, but yeah, just never really felt that comfortable. And then recently started doing this tip where I treated it like a manual and barely popped it, right? I would just like get in, the second I get in, pop it in, get these wheels right back on the coping, and then manual it in. Helped incredibly. Literally the first or second try I did it, could do it every try from then on. Just changed the game for me. I was able to do like variations into blunt much more easily, so it doesn't look the best. Like ideally I'd like big popped, perfectly straight blunt back into the ramp, but hey, I'm taking it. I'd rather have that consistency and then in time, you know, build up to the other just clean ollie in. All right. We got some people in here chilling or what? How's the audio? Is it good? I don't know with the wind. I got a little bit of wind out here. I'm on the island, so it's can get pretty brutal down here. It's good? Hell yeah, thank you guys. Damien, what's up, man? How's it going? Pivot fakie, you might have to rewind. I don't know if it lets you, but I did that right in the beginning. It was the first thing. Cool. What we got? Hell yeah. It's kind of weird. I'm using the reverse facing camera on the iPhone, so everything seems backwards to me. Chillin', what up? Appreciate it. Good seeing you guys, man. All right. Okay, next tip was someone asked about setting up your feet. It's kind of hard to give a tip on like setting up your feet because I really feel like it has to do with experience and just board control and just being on the on your board for so many years. But if you want to work on that, something you could do is practice dropping in regular and then doing a nose stall, like something like that, where you're like consciously practicing 2 tricks in a row where you're gonna have to jump to the nose, and just do that over and over again, and throw it in the middle of your runs, like challenge yourself. Don't just keep doing the same run over and over. Try throwing in a trick you might not do or that's awkward to set up your feet, just so you keep doing it. Everything's repetition, so just keep doing it and it'll come. All right, Smith. All right, he asked for the feeble fakie. I went over that earlier in the video, but I'll go over it real quick. Feeble fakie is very easy to lock into. It's like messing up on a 50-50, basically. It's pretty easy. Some people get into it like that, which would be harder to come in from, because you're on top of the coping. I like to make sure I'm locked in just on this wheel. It just gives me like a consistent lock-in point. Then I think I have a little bit of weight on my heel when I'm locking in. It kind of puts pressure on that. I point. You can either keep your front foot flat or point your front toe forward, just to hold it in place. Doesn't really matter. But the main thing is when you come in, you turn backside. Right when you get into it and try to come back in, it's very easy to jump off this way, right, onto your toe side. So I like to think about it like I'm doing a rewind. It's like I'm rewinding the motion and coming exactly where I came from. It's kind of hard to see your angle, but it's like come up like this and then back, so that might unlock it for some of you guys, but it's something I see often is people jumping off to their toe side. So it's like a lack of confidence and, yeah, it's really like a fear is usually the main thing holding it back. All right, let me see what's going on in the chat. Will Graham, what up, man? All right, any tips for timing, turn your shoulders on front side or back side rocks? All right, I don't know if you saw, I just made a video on this. I think it was like a video or 2 ago. Front rock, best tip I've ever heard, I've ever heard. The best tip, the most helpful tip for people is coming up at a slight angle, like you're turning front side, and then straightening out into the rock, right? And what this does is it winds up your body, and it kind of sets you up to be looking over your, if you're regular, your left shoulder, and then to come in. It does something with the resistance of coming up at this angle and then straightening that keeps you behind it. So try that, and if you want a more in-depth tip, check out that video. It's weird, yeah. Make sure you keep your front foot fully on the board too, because it's just very easy to get your foot caught up on the front rock. I've gotten pitched to the flat before, so I like to keep my front foot really on the board, just to make sure if it does slide, it's still got room to stay on the board. All right. Where are you skating? Ryan Walter, what up, man? I'm at Tanner Park in Copiague. It's where I grew up. Been skating this park basically my whole life. And make sure with the front rock too, another thing is, make sure you press on the tail and don't get lazy with it. Like, press decently hard because you want to make sure, you know, your front wheels aren't clipping the deck. So just make sure you're pressing down firmly. Hello, Ned. What's going on, man? Quentin, what's going on, man? You still planning to do a World Skate Tour? Yeah, man. So I'm getting knee surgery on October 11th, which is like 2 weeks or something like that. So gonna have to put it on hold till then. I have a new series challenge thing planned for May when I'm healed. It's going to be insane. I can't wait to tell you guys about it now, but I can't say anything. It's going to be insane, though. And then after that one, it's like a lifelong challenge, that thing where I'm going to be going to every country. So, you know, after that, I'm sure throughout the year I'll be hitting other countries. Really just got to save some money, though, honestly. That's like the only thing that stops me is like 50 States Challenge or the Central America trip. I don't have like money. I work as a server and I save all that money. I literally do nothing, buy nothing. I save all that money and then I blow it just to go on a trip and film like a YouTube series for a week, so, or a month. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm just able to travel to every country. You know, I gotta grind it out, save some money, and, you know, make it happen. All right. Thanks for the good luck with the surgery, Rob. Appreciate that. Where are you from? I'm from New York, Long Island. Chilling here right now. Come to Ireland? I'm gonna come to every country. So wherever you guys are, I'm gonna be there at some point. Just follow me on Instagram, because like when I post about it, it's too hard to keep track of everyone. But like when I'm going, if you reach out to me and send me a message, like I'll meet up, I'll skate, check out whatever. So just keep an eye out when I'm going. Where are you from? I'm from Long Island, New York. All right. Let's see. Will Graham, do you surf? I've never surfed or snowboarded my whole life. And recently on that trip to Nicaragua, I had my first experience surfing. I went 2 times in one day and just got hooked. The waves there are incredible. But, you know, like, I try to just stay focused on skating. My theory is, like, it's very easy to get distracted. I love all things and I love getting good at things. But if I get too distracted, I don't get incredible at one thing. So I just try to always bring it home to skateboarding and invest all my time and energy into that, because I feel like, I don't know, I learn the most and can give back the most if I just keep putting effort into it. All right. How long have you been skating? I've been skating for about 20 years, I think. I never like logged the exact year, like how old I was when I started, but I believe it was like 14. All right. A tip for front Smith fakie, please. Honestly, that's a really weird one. You know, front Smith fakie, I would think about it like a fakie frontside 5 Oda fakie. Very easy trick for me to do. Now I've done like 100 of them, but I mean, not 100, honestly, probably like thousands of them. So come up fakie. I think about it just like a tail stall. And at first I would just lock the wheel on like that. You know, this fakie, right? So, and then I'd put my front truck down like this. Right? So it's just like a fakie tail stall dropping, but at a slight angle, and then revert my wheels in. I've been doing that for like 18 years, 17 years, like right when I first learned front 5-0 fakies. So that motion of like sliding my wheels in, now I just feel so comfortable whenever I'm in that region. I put my front trucks down, I just slide it in, whip it in. So you can practice that, and then with the front Smith, you know, kind of treat it the same way. Hopefully that helps. All right, who's in here? Who's chilling? Wildwood. I don't know where Wildwood is. Sounds familiar. Is that Jersey? I don't know what that is. All right, I got Timmy Tom asked for if I got any tips on half cabs. Find it difficult to get the rotation after bonking the coping. Honestly, I used to have trouble with, like, I never rotate it. I almost do it straight like a fakie ollie, and I land just like I said with the front 5-0 fakie a second ago. I almost land sideways like this and then slide it in, you know? And for me, I've just felt really comfortable with that motion, that backside kind of slide in. So the half cab, I do the same thing, and then sometimes when I pop it, it just rotates in the air. But at this point, I'm more comfortable with it, so it just kind of happens. Akim asked for tips on the blunt fakie. I just did that about, let's see, like 5 minutes ago. If you rewind 10 minutes, something like that. And also, my new, like 2 videos ago, I did a video on blunt fakies, really in depth. Got a really good tip in there for you, so. Will Graham, yeah, man. Venmo is just at Chad Caruso if you want to support. That'd be huge. Really appreciate it. Or you can just super chat right on like YouTube, like right here. I think there's a thing to send a tip or something like that. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. How much is your injury keeping you from skating? It's not. I'm skating like the same as I had been. And it's not like a new injury that happened to me, this meniscus tear. I actually have been skating on it for who knows how long, like at least 6 months or a year. And I've been skating with friends, and I'll constantly just be like, yeah, there's something wrong with my knee. I'm sure there is. I'm not going to get it checked out till after we finish this full-length video we're filming for. But, yeah. And then I started getting neck pain. Got an MRI, and I was just like, hey, could you do my knee too while we're at it? Did it, found out there was a meniscus tear. So, yeah, I kind of knew there was something wrong, and I had been skating on it for a while, but I could deal with it. It's not like super painful or anything, but it's annoying, and yeah. Any tips to nail backside rock and rolls? All tutorials say it's super easy, but for some reason I get very uncomfortable doing it. End up landing face forward with just my front foot on the board. All right, so let's see. All right, rock and roll. So first things first, when you lock in at first to learn the trick, lock in like this. Don't get your whole board on the coping. That's like the proper way to do it, and it looks the best, but lock in like this. It's much easier to turn out of. You got much more control. These wheels are holding you into place, right? And then when you go to come in, you want to turn your shoulders before you come in, right? You want to, like, just like the kick turn too, essentially. You want to be looking to where you're going, and then you're basically going to like unwind when you press on the tail, right? So, and by doing that, hopefully like it'll open up your vision and be able to see where you're going, so it's not as scary. But yeah, work your way up, small quarter pipes, and even the bank ramp or something like that. Do it on the deck and then turn in. And also make sure you press on the tail firmly and not like a little tiny press, because then the wheels are going to catch on the coping. Phil, appreciate that, man. Thank you. All right, so you tore your ACL, you said once. Tore it too. Any tips on strengthening the leg or warming it up? Having a hard time putting weight on it since it's my regular foot. Bike, just ride the bike all the time. You know, go to the gym, ride the bike, or ride a regular bike. Just keep doing stuff like that. And the main thing is, don't let the pain like beat you. Like, don't get lazy. You don't want that thing getting stiff. You want to, you know, of course, don't push yourself and hurt yourself. Make sure you can, but just, where was I saying? Yeah, build the strength up, ride the bike, even pushing, you know, like you're saying it hurts, but do that. Push like 3 miles, right? If you're on that left leg, your quads and your calves are just gonna build back up. So push around. That's a good way to do it too if it doesn't hurt. Hell yeah, mindful skateboarding. Appreciate that super chat, man. It means a lot. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Gonna be tough out here, losing my job and like, well, not losing it, but I'm not gonna be able to work for like 2-3 months, maybe 4. I don't really know, so we'll see. Gonna be off my feet because of the surgery. All right. Kyle, what up, man? Really appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for taking the time to comment, man. All right. I gotta live stream more, man. This shit's fun. Key differences on doing tricks between mini ramps and bigger transitions. By the way, thanks for the blunt fakie trick tip. Just learned it yesterday. Love hearing that, man. Yeah, man, that manual tip unlocked it for me. After like I realized to manual them in fakie, could do it every single try after that. So I'm psyched you learned them. Tips on bigger transition. So I don't know what level you're at, but certain tricks just don't work as well on bigger transition. Like it's 2 different techniques. Like all these flip tricks that I do, like nollie, front heel, tail, doing them on the 6 foot, completely different trick, right? Just the steepness throws you off the ramp. So you just got to take all that into account. But I'm sure you're probably talking about like axle stalls, 5-0s, things like that. It's like you have to learn to be able to suck your weight up and like almost bend your legs as you're hitting the transition. So, right, so you're pumping on the way up, but it's almost like you're jumping off the ramp, which feels scary because you feel like you're gonna fly off or something like that, but you're really not. You just gotta like take your weight off a little bit. So it's not like you're running into a wall, you know, like coming up the transition. So if you don't take your weight off, it's just like you're gonna feel the resistance at the top. So you gotta make sure you're like leaning back a lot and, you know, almost keeping your shoulders like parallel to the transition. So just try to think about your body weight in terms of the steepness of the ramp. Hopefully that helps. Also, I made a video on this a while ago. How to skate bigger transition, I think it was called. Something like that. So look that up if you want some more in depth. Chris O led with, man. Appreciate that super chat. You're the man. Thank you. Love the vids. Struggle to learn new tricks though. Well, what are you trying to learn? If you got a trick like you're focusing on, let me know. I'll try to give you a tip on it. But honestly, one of the main things I see as a problem with like people have a progression is focusing on one trick. Pick a trick and practice it. It's as simple as that. Like focus only on that trick, and the more time you invest in the trick, it's gonna come to you, and it's that simple. That's how I look at every single trick. You know, it's just, okay, I'm learning this one today. I got to invest my 3 hours, my 2 hours, you know, my 10 hours, whatever it is. And, you know, sometimes it's really hard. You get discouraged, a couple of tries, but that's really all it takes. And just like catching yourself doing that, where you get discouraged, you try another trick, or you just do something you could land already. So, you know, your future self will thank you when you don't do the tricks you already know all the time. and practice something new. All right. Favorite skate shoes now. I've been skating the Booznits 2s. I like they're a little thicker than the ones. I made a review video on like the new Booznits ones, and they're super thin. They're like soccer shoes. They have really good board control, but I don't know. I just, after a little bit, they got really thin, like really quickly, and just kind of hurts my feet. So I like that little bit of extra padding in there. The Tyshones I haven't tried. I'm not a huge fan of the way they look, so probably won't try them, but never know. Mike Costantino says he's in Babylon. Skate sometime. Yeah, man. Come by Tanner. I'm always here. And that brings me back to another tip about progression. I come to the skate park, it's empty every single day. I'm here. This park is empty, 9 a.m. Skaters wake up late. They don't practice. Like, what's the difference that I see is like I'm here by myself over and over, day after day, hours and hours and hours trying the same trick to learn, a new trick over and over and over. So, I mean, I think it's there for everyone to get as good as you want. Show up and practice more than everyone else. Push yourself and you'll learn. It's tough. It builds character. It's not easy, but if you just stick with it, you'll learn. Simple as that. All right. The stream might disappear after this in case you guys are going to go back and look. This is like just for Patreon, so it's just going to be over there afterwards. But just so you don't go looking back for it to get a tip or something. Stugats 117. Nothing much to say. Appreciate the content. Your super chat means a lot, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. All right, for nollie tricks, do you bonk off the coping or pop just before? I've bonked sometimes. Like when I first learned nollie backside flip disasters, I was bonking them. That was like one of the first flip tricks I learned on transition. And then after that, now I do like a little push just before the coping. Little nollie where I'm pushing upwards and it's like just the slightest little pop. Jeff Ingram. I don't know, the emoji holding it down, man. $20 super chat. That's huge. Thank you so much. I honestly don't even know what to say. Thank you. It means a lot. Means a lot, guys. Planning on coming to Canada anytime soon. Yeah, man. I'm getting knee surgery, so I'm going to be out for the whole winter. I'll be hibernating. I actually haven't told anyone this, so let me know what you guys think of this series I'm thinking of doing while I'm hurt. I'm going to have people send me videos like on Instagram, filmed, horizontally, of them trying tricks that they're working on, and then I'm going to make a video pointing out where they're going wrong and how they can improve it. So let me know what you guys think, if that's a series you'd like to see. And if you have any other ideas, just let me know. But yeah, I'm hyped for that. Oh yeah, no, I didn't even answer the Canada question. So yeah, I was looking into Canada last year, like after the 50 states thing. I'm sure I'll be there eventually, but this knee surgery, I'm going to be out till spring of next year, March, April, something like that. So yeah, no travel plans till after that. Cool. Yeah, seems like you guys like that series. All right. Carol, thanks, man. Appreciate that. He says, yeah, people over 30, man. It's like, I don't know. It's just weird with jobs and things. You know, everyone gets scared of getting hurt, something like that, like while you're working. But that was just something, you know, then you're not able to work and pay your bills, which is a real concern. But I don't know. Like my thought process was, I'll always just figure it out. Like I'll figure it out some way. I'll get some other job, or I'll learn something, or like I'll figure it out. And to me, this thing is just the most important thing. And then having that like joy and passion in your life is more important than work. Like, yeah, the money is important. You gotta pay your bills and stuff, but like, I don't revolve my life around that. It's not centered around work only. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, get out there. Any age, do it. You'll thank yourself. I mean, I've seen older people seem to have the best experience skating, like 30 and up. You know, when you're a kid, you kind of have that more competitive mindset, or like you just have a different, yeah, like mindset about the whole thing. When you're older, you appreciate it, like the time to yourself, or the freedom, or, you know, older people like 50, 60 never gotten to do it, or maybe they were forced to get a job their whole lives and they finally like get to do something like freeing. So I see them enjoying it more, for sure. Hell yeah, 50 years old, love it, man. Hell yeah, that's what's up. I'm 49, got back on the deck 30 years later. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's like almost a better experience when you're older. Just appreciate it. How good is it seeing everyone support the content you create? I took up skating at 34 so I could spend time with my kids. They stopped, but I'm loving it. That's amazing. Yeah, man, I mean, I don't really need like the compliments. Like I don't, you know what I mean? They don't change what I'm doing either way, but I appreciate them. They mean a lot. And, you know, that's the whole reason I made tutorials, was I loved mini ramp skating. I saw terrible tutorials all over the internet, and not to put anyone down, but they were just made like very rushed, you know, just like, okay, you come back up, you do a trick, you stall, you come back in, and you got it. Thanks for watching. I'm like, these aren't tutorials. These are like big brands just trying to make money off of a name guy giving the tip, and it doesn't help anyone, you know? So I just wanted to literally help people learn the mini ramp. Like, it's as simple as that, and give the best, most in-depth tips that I would want to hear, you know? But yeah, man, it's crazy what it turned into. Like, you know, it's people getting back into skating and seeing all the messages and stuff. Like, you know, yeah, it has been incredible. I can't say it hasn't. It's cool to see. Did not expect that at all. Backflip tutorial? Maybe. I gotta learn them first. Maybe a Miller flip. It's basically a backflip with a hand plant in the middle. Supreme Soy asked for a nose stall revert tip, right? So, nose stall revert. Get into the nose stall. Turn your shoulders as you're in the stall. Like, don't do it when you go to come back in. Get in while you're on top. Turn your shoulders. A lot of skateboarding is your shoulders will follow. Like your board follows what your shoulders do. So turn and look where you want to go. Then the next tip would be to, instead of pivoting like normal, like this, like on the nose when you come in, put your back trucks down and think about it like a kick turn. It'll make it much easier for you. You know, slide the wheels in and then work your way up to doing it like the regular way, where you're like pivoting on the nose. Just learned fake tail stall revert the other day. Such a fun one. Yeah, man, that's a fun trick. And it opens the doors for me. Like, once you learn that, you're just like, oh, I could do this. And then 180 out. And it's just like, possibilities are endless. Shit. Another super chat. Legalized Kush 420. You're my favorite skate YouTuber. I learned basically all my transition tricks from your videos. Much love. Keep it up. Dude, means more than you could ever know. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Love hearing that too, man. I just can't believe like those videos like help people learn tricks. It's just incredible. It's cool. All right. Fakey Big Spin Blunt Stall. I've done that one on my channel before. I mean, on my Instagram before. Yeah, we're back. All right. Had a phone call. We got frozen. Cool. Forgot the question, though. All right. Oh, bored. All right. So, let's see. 8.2. Rode that forever. And then recently bumped up to an 8.5. So I got, what's it, it's called 149s. They match up with the 8.5 like perfectly. So this is beefy, this thing. Little fortune board right here. But I basically stuck with the same relative setup my whole life. I like to just find something I like, a shape, and stick with it. And like, you know, I don't think mixing it up helps that much. Like, I feel like it makes more sense to get used to a shape, know how it works, you know, like all the little pockets and how it feels, and try to keep it as consistent as possible. Of course, you know, you can find other things and boards that you might not know that helped you, but for me, I just like to have that constant. A little personal, but how not drinking changed you as a person and a skater? All right, so not drinking, best thing that ever happened to me. This YouTube channel wouldn't exist if I didn't quit drinking. 100% wouldn't exist at all. So I quit, and then, you know, my vision started to become clear. I started having more energy and time and focus, and, you know, you stop hanging out with people, you stop just wasting time and doing things you're not interested in. You just get like a rebirth and a focus. And, you know, that applied with skating too. I just had more time and energy. My body feels better. Just literally everything. You know, I started living more positively. I wanted to help people. Everything flip-flopped, you know. So I 100% recommend it. Just be clear. Get rid of all vices. Face yourself. Face all the things you're probably hiding from, and use those things to mask up any pain in the past or anything. And that's it. Like, sober up, get rid of all the stuff, face everything, and your life will change for the better. 100%. Appreciate more now. More than you could know. About to start October, not drinking. Sober October, baby, do it. Yeah, man, it creeps up on you. You know, it creeps up, and sometimes you don't know. Like, for me, I got my knee surgery when I was like 22, in my prime, basically. And, yeah, tore my ACL, PCL. I was determined to come back. Built up my leg strength, learned all my tricks. And then a month or two later, some BMX kid, like little kid, wasn't paying attention, crashed into me, tore my MCL on the same knee. And that just like knocked the wind out of me, you know. And then I just kind of like drank here and there. You know, I'd go to parties and talk about skating, and it just like slowly morphed away from skating and more of like talking about skating and the lifestyle. So, you know, it's creepy. It sneaks up on you. You gotta watch out. Do you have front board to fakie? I do have that trick. It's a fun one. I don't do it too often though, because I don't know. Can you give tips on backside big spin disaster? Yeah, so I'm actually like not great at big spins. I just learned them recently on flat, like the proper way. I could always do them like sliding on the ground, but recently I learned like the scooping way. But before that, you know, on mini ramp, I would never pop it, and I still usually don't. I think about it like a backside disaster where I'm sliding my wheels on the ramp. I just stay behind it, get light-footed, and I whip it around like this. I launch off the coping, slide the wheels as fast as I can. So it's not like a scoop really. You know, you can do it with a scoop if you're good at that, but for me, I was never good at big spin, so that was like my hack on figuring out how to do it. All right, who's chilling in the chat? What's going on? Thanks everyone for hanging out. Gotta live stream more often. Probably when I'm hurt, I'm gonna hop in once I'm like able to walk again. Do a tour of Asia. I will, man, eventually. I haven't really told anyone about this at all. Just kind of been keeping it secret. But I'm trying to I have like a show I'm working on, where I would go to every country. So I mean, we'll see if it gets picked up. But you know, if it doesn't, I'm doing it anyway on my YouTube channel. So don't really care. Did you make a hurricane stall or grind video? I haven't, but I made a trick tip video called use this one technique to learn 10 mini ramp tricks, right? And I'm like, it's a thumbnail where I'm pointing at the wheel, and that's because the tip is to learn how to slide your wheels on the ramp, right? So I'm talking about 180 nose grinds and hurricanes, and it's all the same concept of getting light on your feet and being able to slide your wheels on the ramp to kind of do these alley-oop motions. I'm gonna build a 3-foot mini ramp next year. Currently building a house. That's cool, man. Watching your vids to get amped. 32 years old and skate it. Nice. Hell yeah, man. That's dope. Yeah, build that ramp. You'll love it. All right. Might get going soon. We'll see. Any trick tip for frontside 50-50? Yeah, so frontside 50. Practice flying out of the quarter pipe. That's the number one thing, because it's like learning how to shift your weight on top. So fly out straight of a quarter pipe, and then eventually turn a little bit, get closer, and then you'll have the confidence to kind of stick it. It's the fear of like leaning into the ramp. You don't want to slip, but you'll get it. You'll work your way closer and closer. And then coming in, front side is much scarier than backside. For me, I kind of press on my heel and do a little bit of a hop motion, right? Because front side just feels like you're gonna hang up. It just feels really weird. So I stay more centered on the tail, press on my heel, and do a little bit of a hop to come in. But you know, you can practice rolling in too if you feel comfortable. It might be a little hard depending on what level you're at, but let's see. Front pivot fakie now, no sliding challenge. All right, you want to see a front pivot fakie? I'll go for it. I haven't done this trick in a while. Probably gonna eat it. And I haven't skated all day yet, so cut me some slack. How's that look? Should be all right. All right, let's see. Let's see for this how this works out. Oh yeah. got it. Next try, next try. Oh, yeah. All right, a little sketchy, but I'll take it. I'm not warmed up at all. All right, we're coming back. Oh shit, my tripod's falling apart. Give me 1 second. All right. Nice. Cool. Front 5-0 fakie, no popping. All right, fine. Deal's a deal. All right, see if I got it. Been a while. There we go. Much better. All right. Hell yeah. All right, moving back. Yeah, it's a fun trick, man, once you get it down. It's honestly not too hard because it's just, if you get good at front 5-0s, you get good, like, just get into that position and you learn to just drop it straight down and then slide in. It makes it so much more consistent. And then now that I've done so many of them, when I do front 5-0 grinds, even on like the 6 foot, I feel comfortable. It's almost like I'm not sliding sometimes, or it's one motion because I've done it for so long. So now, like, even if I rip it in, I have that comfort. So, all right. Tips for flipping in the stall. So let's see, tips. Well, for the nollie and fakie ones, the main tip is you gotta flick down, right? And it's weird because you're so used to flicking a certain way on flat ground, but on mini ramp, your mind doesn't account for that you're at an angle, so you almost have to, like, sorry, B was in my ear. You gotta, like, flick down and almost into the ramp. Appreciate that, Hugh. Yeah, like, flick down and into the ramp to make it flick. Otherwise, it, like, kind of whiffs or doesn't really do anything. Also, that and the nollie motion, you know, just where you're, like, skimming the nose and pushing up. Those two things help. Otherwise, yeah, regular flips. I mean, it's pretty similar to flat ground. Maybe just try to flick a little faster. See what we got going on in the chat. Also, thank you guys again for anyone who super chatted. I really appreciate it. And anyone in here that's gonna, like, go back and look at this video, it's gonna be taken down and just only on Patreon. But I'll probably keep doing more of these in the future. But just so you guys know, when you're looking for it and it's not there. Let's see. Oof, that'd be a tough one. Tough one. Back disaster. I gave that earlier in the video. You might be able to rewind. But yeah, back D. I like to think of my back foot as like a hand, right? And my toes are my fingers. I hang my toe off the edge of the board a little bit, and that kind of helps me grip and slide my wheels when I'm coming up the ramp. So I come straight, start doing my backside turn, and then I get light-footed, slide the wheels. And that helps me land in the back D. And then the next problem you're gonna have is over rotating. So when you go in and commit, it actually, that's what like solves that problem. So it's weird, it's counterintuitive, feels scary, but once you finally like press on the nose, that gives you a pivot point to kind of unwind. That, or you can smash the wheels on the deck, kind of do it that way until you get comfortable. Any tips for skating big chunky pool coping? Yeah, go fast, lean back, bigger wheels, wider trucks, stuff like that. Bigger wheels will help you roll over it easier, so it'll feel smaller, like regular size coping. Any tips for backside tail? Okay. Oh, Mike, dude, wax. I think you know, wax on pool coping's a no-go. If someone sees you doing that at the skate park, that's like an unsaid rule. All right, so the back tail. This trick I learned a while ago. It's really just like a scooping motion, right? I can't, let me see. Yeah, it's like, I practice this on flat ground over and over, just getting this little like scrapey motion down, right? All your weight's off your front foot and just practice that little like 45-degree angle scraping motion, right? That's literally it. You're really light-footed and you gotta just all scoop, you know. And then the next thing to focus on would be, a lot of times with any tail slide, I think of landing on my toes, right? Because if you put down flat-footed, this is on a ledge too, like it's almost like you're subconsciously not committing. So when you go to land on your toes, it's like you're gonna slide or you're gonna lock in, you know, because you're like, your weight's only on that toe and nowhere else. So something you can mess around with. Joe Skull, what up, man? Thanks for tuning in. All right, Chris O, thanks for hanging out, man. Best size wheels for transition skating. Let's see. Tough to say because everyone has their own personal preference and tricks they like to do. For me, I like to flip my board a lot. I street skate, you know, I slide my wheels on the ramp. So all those things require different metrics, right? I like a harder wheel because it allows me to slide my wheels on the ramp. I like 52s or 54s. If I'm gonna be skating a little bit bigger transition, or I want a smoother ride, I'll go 54s. I usually don't go bigger than that. Ben, appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. Andrew, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Means a lot, guys. Thank you. What park are you at now? Sorry, just tuning in. My daughter is a freshman. I'm at Tanner Park in Copiague, New York. It's actually, I petitioned to open this skate park when I was like 15, 16 years old or something like that. So, and I did like the opening day demo and I've been coming here ever since. Yeah, home base as they call it. Dill Straw Pants, did you already have the surgery? Nope, October 11th I go under the knife. They don't know exactly what's going on in there, like fully. So it's looking like I'm gonna be out 4 to 5 months and then I'll be back, you know, in the spring. If they can't repair it, it'll actually be a quicker recovery, so I'll only be out for like 8 weeks. I'm hoping they can fix it though, but either way, I think I'll still be skating fine. It's just more long term. It's like, will I get arthritis in the future? More, yeah. So hopefully it works. We'll see. with all the skating I've done my whole life and the abuse and jumping downstairs, I'm certain I'm getting arthritis. So like, it's not like a surprise or anything I ain't expecting, but we'll see. I definitely would like to have a fixed lateral meniscus. All right. Yo, what up? Thanks for chilling. What's going on? Dude, what? Laugh out loud. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. Wow. I don't know how much money that is actually. It says A. I don't know. $30.99. Is that American? Is that like $31? Because if you did, that's crazy, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Either way, though, even if it's not that much, I appreciate it the same. So thank you. Means a lot. Gonna be out. Oh, 24 bucks. Thanks, man. I'm gonna be out of work. Let's see. For like at least 2 months. I'm not gonna be able to walk or really do too much. So yeah, that helps. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Oh, I think it's Australian. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Size wheels do I skate? I skate 54s, but now they're kind of worn down, so they're almost like 52s now. Something like that. Thank you for the luck with the surgery. Appreciate it, guys. I'll still be trying to pump out content. Nice. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, like I'm hoping they go in there, they clean everything up, because I'm sure it doesn't look too good in there. I'm sure I abused my knees, so I have faith. I'm not too worried about it, honestly. Do I have a favorite mini ramp skate video part? Yeah, man, cheese and crackers, always. That's like the pinnacle of mini ramp skating. But even before that, so mini ramp skating and even transition skating wasn't popular when I was a kid. Like, it just wasn't popular. You know, I had a mini ramp, 2 near my house. One was at the youth center, and one was inside of a skate shop. And even then, I would get really technical. Like, I would do like crook stall 270s, and like I was learning all these pivots and stuff. So I always had that like mindset of like always wanting to learn all these little tricks. But street skating was just not popular at all. Like, at all. And you know, so yeah, it was just like kind of the climate. You know, now it's different with YouTube and people like skating, but back then, yeah, I just didn't just street skated only, basically. So it's cool. Like, you know, I got hurt, started back again, and it's like, it's almost like I came back to where like I really love to skate, you know, so it's cool. Transition's where it's at, especially when you're getting older, though. It's much easier on your legs. Oh, appreciate that, man. Hell yeah. I love to hear it. Love to hear you learned all those tricks, man. That's incredible. Look up Tea and Biscuits. I've seen that video before. It's really good. I feel like nothing still is like just the energy of cheese and crackers, and like it was so groundbreaking. But yeah, that's a cool video too. Let's see. All right. Do I have any other hobbies behind other than skating? Yeah, man, I fish. I play guitar. What else? I invest in like stocks, stuff like that. I get super obsessed with things and just like want to become a master at them, you know? I have to literally control myself and be like, no, focus on skating. I do these things a little bit, but I like to just bring it back because, yeah, to me, it's just life is time and focus. So it's been 20-something years of focusing on skating. I'm just gonna keep investing in that and like get as far as I can and learn, you know, there's just things you can't learn if you don't put in that much time, you know. So the more I learn, the more I can give back. What kind of music are you into mostly for the skate to? The growlers I've been really into a lot. All day I listen to the growlers. Yeah, it depends, like Metallica, stuff like that. It just depends on like the mood that I'm in. The Black Angels I've been into recently. Who else? All Them Witches, another good band. Check out. $10 if you land tray flip nose pick. 10 attempts. Come on. I don't know, man. I've never really I've done tray flip nose stall once before. Alright, I'll give it a shot. Why not? Why not? Actually, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Maybe another time though. Alicio? Hell yeah. Love hearing that, man. That's what's up. Yeah, I've skated FDR before. I used to go when I was younger. I'd take trips at like 4 a.m. from New York, get there at like 7. And then it's in Philly, for those of you guys who don't know. And then I would, just skate like 7 a.m. before anyone showed up, you know, because it could be a gnarly park, a lot of people. So I like to just figure out my lines and stuff like that early. Day one all day. Oh, you guys want to see me try that nose pick? I don't know, man. I haven't warmed up yet or anything. Oh, you learned the hand plants off of one of my videos. Hell yeah, man. That's dope. Yeah, that was the idea when I was making it. I was just like, you know what? I've always wanted to learn this trick. Let me document it and say exactly what I'm going through. So hopefully someone else can learn it. That's awesome that you learned it, though. Hell yeah. McTwist in one try. I did one earlier in the stream. You missed it, though. Yeah, dude. All right, I might end this stream now. It's getting a little long, a little meaty. You guys think I should do this more often, or is this helpful? Let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Also, anyone just tuning in, I'm doing when I get hurt. When I get my surgery, I'm going to be making videos helping people. So I'll have you send me videos on Instagram filmed vertically of you trying the trick you're working on, and then I'm gonna give tips pointing out how to solve the problem and have you get to learn the trick. So let me know if you guys like that series, and if you do, send me something over on Instagram. Let me know. James, thanks, man. Appreciate that. That's cool. Yeah, maybe I'll talk more about the sobriety. I don't know. For some reason, I just feel like skaters are very, just want to hear about skating, you know? So I tend to not do, a bunch of other topics and videos. You know, I try to just keep it mainly skating-based, but I'll probably branch out in the future, maybe while I'm hurt. Dehydrated? Yeah, I just said that. That's going to be the, that's going to be the series that I'm going to do. So I'm glad you're into it. Should be fun. Dollar Waddles. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. yeah, maybe I'll bring the podcast back or something like that. I did like 6 episodes, I think it was, of a feeble-minded podcast on my YouTube channel. Didn't get too many views, and then I had like my dad passed away recently, but for the past like year or two, if I slowed down a little bit, I was taking care of him a lot and helping out. So kind of like had to put the podcast on the side. I was literally running that podcast completely alone. So if you guys are familiar with podcasts, it's like, you know, you got like audio and like video, like all this stuff to worry about, getting people in, guests, and like I was just doing it by myself on my iPhone. I like figured out how to just get mics hooked up to my iPhone, and I filmed like an 2-hour-long podcast on my phone. So it was a lot to deal with that, and then also like have to be running around. So maybe I'll bring that back. We'll see. We'll see. We will see. Are you making more Karma wheels? Yeah, so I should be making some more in the future. Right now I'm just chilling, putting some things on hold. But yeah, I don't know. I have to see. I'm definitely planning on making more and doing more with it in the future. But right now I got no graphics like lined up. Moxitron, thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out. All right, thanks for hanging out, Go-Go. All right, guys. I think I'm going to wrap up the stream. Any last questions you want to get in? But, yeah, it's getting a little long, so I'm going to post this over on my Patreon and take it down off my YouTube channel. So, don't want it to be too long for everyone to, like, try to sift through everything. Yeah. Later, guys. Cool. Alright, I'll see you guys. Peace. Later. See you next stream. Later, guys. Thank you.